Hi guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being
Do you
here.
need a mic?
Do we really need this? We don't need it.
We're good.
We're good. We're both very loud people by nature. If at any point we do, we'll just grab them. So, huh?
Water?
Yeah, I'll have some water. So thank you guys for coming. We are celebrating our joint collaboration, Healthy Latin Eating, which I'm so happy and proud of it. And Angelo is absolutely brilliant. And I had this idea a few years ago, well, a long time, my whole life I'm trying to lose 10 pounds. My whole life we're trying to watch what I eat and not wanting to give up the food that I grew up on. So it was my idea to have this book, except I wasn't a chef and I had my own recipes, which were pretty good enough for my family, good enough for me, but I really wanted to put something out in the world that could live in other people's families and matter to people, and they could pass it on for generations. And so I needed a partner who was brilliant and amazing, and I met Angelo, and he loved the idea, and
we're both Latino.
We both happen to be Latino. Yes, he is half Dominican. I am Puerto Rican, Dominican, a little bit of Cuban even, and so Angelo I'll let him talk also, but Angelo he specializes and is brilliant at fusion. So he was really able to take some of like the classic recipes that we grew up on and turn them into something new and healthier, and he did it in such a brilliant way, and I'm so proud of the book and honored to do the book with him.
Yeah, what's cool about the book, Angie uses the word fusion, and for me the word fusion is about relationships, it's about family, so we have a lot of amazing recipes that you've submitted, family recipes from your...
Yes.
Right, like
my grandmother's recipes, and so we took a lot of our family recipes and kind of remixed them. That's why we said our favorite family recipes remixed, thus part of the title. And so yeah, we did that. We took some of the classics and just remixed them in a little healthier ways. It's not a diet book. It's not like super difficult. It's just some small changes that we can make in some of these classic recipes that will help you and help all of us, hopefully. I bring it to my family's house on the holidays and nobody knows the difference. People love it, and it's like, I make the low-fat versions and my grandmother eats it and she doesn't complain, so that to me that's like approval on the highest level.
The recipes are delicious, they're super simple, yummy.
Yeah.
And the recipes of the past are not like inundated with like lard and butter and all this yummy stuff that we like. Right? There's healthier options, and the recipes really taste super delicious, which we're very excited about. So these stories for me, whether it's my mama abuela or my tia Carmen, they can live in this book. So that's what I'm very excited about. And the partner with Angie, it's just been amazing, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So there it is. So this is our book, and we hope you guys get it and love it, and as much as we do. And pass it to your families, even if it's just one of the recipes or two, and start the conversation. Because for me, in my house, it's always a conversation. It's always a conversation how we can eat better, how we can stay on track. It's always a conversation. So to be able to have recipes that I can go to that make me happy at the same time while trying to watch what I eat is important to me. So, yeah.
There's a lot of staple dishes like our takeoff of arroz con pollo. We do it with quinoa. Quinoa is super healthy. It's a lighter version.
So good.
And
quinoa, when you get it like at the health food store, is like eating, to me, styrofoam. It's like nothing. The way Angelo has come up with this recipe, it is so tasty. I do not miss the rice. It's the same seasoning, I swear to you. I made it yesterday, but I made it without the chicken. I made it with shrimp, but I used the same seasoning. And I packaged it up for the week for work, and it's like, I heat it up at work, and everybody's like, ooh, what is that? It smells so good. While they're eating something unhealthy, I have my little healthy Latin meal happening in mine. You like how I have my problem while I'm talking tonight? You like my product placement?
And what's super cool, I think, about the book is it is healthy, but there's also that we really retain that Latino flair. So the spices, just like even the cooking techniques, they're not like long and exasperated. They're just simple, straightforward. It's all about just putting food on the table and having a conversation about flavors, amazing flavors.
Yeah. And so that's it. Do you guys have any questions or anything you want to?
All the difficult ones, ask Angie, obviously. So.
What was your favorite part about making the book?
And Hi, who are you and what is your name?
Well, my name is George Lombardi. My cousin is Ellie Cano. She's a reporter for ABC, but we didn't come here as media. We came actually to support you because we love you. I'm half Italian, half Latin. So, we love food.
Latin from where?
Well, my mom's Ecuadorian Colombian, my father's Italian. So, you know, arroz con pollo, all of that, I forget about it. My household.
Don't you find that even if you're not Latin, like even probably the Latin people in your family that are not Latin, they still, these are recipes that
they're universal. I think everybody can
yeah.
relate in some way.
I
came here to support you because we love you, man. Forget about it.
Oh, that's so nice.
There was like a winter storm, supposedly. I came here because we love you.
That's so sweet. Thank you, honey.
No
I appreciate that so much. The whole thing was like, this is something that I've dreamed of doing for years, and the fact that it's finally here is amazing, and that I'm so proud of each recipe. Like, some of the recipes I'm still, you know, we did them in testing, or Angelo would make them, but I had to go back now and make all of them myself to make sure I could and whatever. So I'm still kind of, there's certain ones that I haven't made in a while. Like the other day I made the sancocho. I did it on the chew too.
Okay.
And it came. I was just so happy. I was like, this is really good, but it's like hours. So that part of it is great. And then also we did like a really big photo shoot with our family. I had my son there, and so he was like helping using the blender, and it just, I don't know, it just felt like a family book.
That's the best part about
it
cooking
really
food
is
sharing it with your family.
Yes.
And sharing it with the people that you love and care about. And that's basically when I started to learn how to cook. I remember everything I cooked didn't come out correctly. But it's about trying it until it comes out right.
Do you have it yet?
Yeah, I bought two copies. One for my cousin, like I said, she's a reporter for ABC.
What should you start
and then
with?
one for me, you know, so that we can make it like an event for both of us.
I
Unfortunately,
love
she
that.
couldn't be here because, you know, work.
Do you like picadillo?
Oh, picadillo. I love anything.
You should
Forget
try
about
this one. There's a turkey picadillo in here that's really good.
Con carne asada and everything.
It's all here. Don't be afraid of a salad either.
Oh yeah, no. Of course.
There's amazing salads in this book, I swear by it.
You haven't made all the recipes yet, have you?
Not all of them, like maybe 90%.
And I go back and I make them. I'm like, we made this. Like, it's that good. Like, so this book for me it's a passion project. It has a lot of soul and a lot of heart to it. So that's something that I'm super proud about. Right?
Watermelon chipotle salad, and then, you know how I feel about the pineapples.
Yeah, there's a recipe, pineapple serrano salad. It's just simply chunks
cucumbers,
of
pineapples. I know to some
cucumber.
people that might sound weird, but it's like sweet and spicy. And I made it. My grandmother's house. We celebrate Christmas Eve instead of Christmas. So and listen, I can't change the whole family.
We stay up all night.
There's
till it's
still
12
gonna be
o'clock.
right, exactly. So they still have, this 4 trays of fried something in the kitchen. And then I come and I bring, my little trays of like, how about some of this too, guys? And so I always bring small things because I think, people like sometimes to get set in their ways. And so I worried. And then every time I bring a tray of something, this one, Christmas, I should have brought 2 because the first tray was gone in no time. And that made me so happy. I was like, okay, because my family's not here to front for anybody. Like, if they're not into it, they're not eating it. So the fact that they inhaled the first tray, I thought, oh, I should have made 2 trays.
So it'll be 4 trays of the salad.
No, I'll do 2 trays of that, and then I'll do 2 trays of something else. But I do the coquito. I have a low-fat coquito in here that I've been doing that one for 2 or 3 years at Christmas, and nobody has said anything different.
And I think for this weather, the sancocho is like perfect. It's all
so
vegan.
good.
It's banging. There's beans, yuca, plantains. It's just amazing.
So good. So yeah, so that just the whole process, the fact that too I share it with the family, it's still fun for me.
And I think what's important is that you take your favorite foods and just try to make them healthy. And I think you're not only doing, the aspect of, creating great food. I think you're actually trying to help other people in a sense, for their
1000%.
health. So in the future they don't have, health-related issues, and they could also enjoy their favorite foods.
It's funny that you say that because the moment was, I used to save recipes like me and my girlfriends would share. My girlfriend Yvette, she cooks, and she'd be like, oh, I did arroz con gandula and I did it with brown rice. And I'm like, how did you do it? That is not sticky. And we would share these recipes and she would tell me and she did this and I would share them for myself personally. But then my son plays baseball and he's nice, right? So I took him to the Bronx. So he was playing in this league in the Bronx because they have one of the best leagues up there. So every weekend we go to the Bronx, he plays baseball, and I would sit. You play baseball too?
What's your favorite recipe in this box?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm gonna get you to that in 1 second. But while I was up there, I would notice a lot of the kids were eating like fried stuff in the concession. It was, by the way, it was like Spanish food at the concession. It wasn't hot dogs and French fries. It was like empanadas and chicharrón de pollo and things like that, or everything fried. And I just was looking around at the community and seeing like, wow, we really need to have a conversation about health and what we're eating and what we're feeding our kids. And in those weeks, every week I would see it, and every week I would think, somebody has to have this conversation, and then I was like, okay, maybe I should have a conversation. And that was like the seeds that started the thought behind it. So the brilliant question over there, what is your name? Christopher? How old are you?
8.
Really? I'm so impressed by you. Because when I was 8, I would be like scared of everything. I love that you're not scared. Okay, so what's my favorite recipe? Right now, there is, well, the quinoa recipe is my favorite. Have you ever had quinoa?
No.
You should tell your mom to try this recipe and see if you like it. Do you like rice?
Yes.
Ooh, you like rice, right? It's kind of like a lighter, thinner version of rice, but with
And
the
healthier,
seasoning, they don't want to hear that. But with the seasoning,
sweet
it
like
tastes
candy.
really good. And you know what else? There's some really good smoothies in here. My son, he's 11, and he likes the smoothies. He helped me with some of those recipes. So you can try some of those too, okay? Okay, good.
This is one of my favorite pictures in the book. This is Margarita and Maya, her daughter, and this is just just indicative of what the book's about. It's all about the family.
Family, getting
It's
in the
all
kitchen
about
with
love.
your family, yeah.
Bringing the family together. So that's really amazing. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
How did you and Angelo come together for the book? Did you know each other before?
We were dance partners.
Yes, we used to dance professionally together.
We did a river dance.
Dancing with the stars. Dancing with the stars.
We did dancing with the not stars. Dancing with no stars. We did. We actually had. We shared management at one time. So we met through somebody that we were both working with, but we had never met. But I had been talking about this idea for some time and needing to find a partner. And so they had mentioned to me, well, you should meet Angelo. He's amazing. And then I got he had his first book, Flavor Exposed. Loved his book. Fell in love with his book. And then I saw a picture of him. He looked so mean. He was in the back, like, those chefs, like those serious chef pictures.
Why do you always have to bring that story?
Because it's a true story. You should smile more in your pictures. This is the point of the story. He looked so mean. So on my way to the meeting, I was like, I don't know if he's the guy for me because he looks so serious and scary. This is supposed to be like a fun, loving. And I met him, and he was just like the loveliest, nicest person most of the time. Sometimes. But we just clicked. Literally, we just clicked right away. What was that?
It's slippery outside.
We clicked right away. As soon as we met, literally, I met him at his office. We went upstairs, and the meeting went on and on and on. He immediately had ideas and was talking about. We just started brainstorming right there, and then it was like off and running. So yeah. What are you guys talking about over there? Share with the class. Instagram. What happened on Instagram?
He was saying, we should take a picture with you later.
Oh, we can do that.
Yeah, that sounds like a great
Gotta put it on the
idea.
gram.
Yeah, look at your die-hard fans right here.
And we'll tag
No matter
you and
the weather, right here.
Question on that side?
You have a question?
Yes. Hi, my name is Delilah. I'm a beauty and lifestyle editor.
Hi.
My question to you is, what would you advise families, like, for instance, I'm a first generation college student. My grandma doesn't want to hear anything about eating healthy. Like, she thinks, uppity, now you're eating, this, that.
Don't tell her.
Yeah.
Don't tell her. Just make it healthier and let her try it. Maybe tell her after she's had it 3 times and loves it. There's things you can kind of mask in here. And we're not trying to change our grandparents. Like, there's a lot of things I would change about my grandparents if I could something, but then also I don't want to change anything. They are who they are. And you can try it. And like I said, I bring things, and sometimes she's into it, and sometimes she wants to eat fried. She wants to eat, the paparena with fried on top of fried, and then the fried on top of fried, empanadas that's laying next to it. Everything, she has like a section of the table, which is like the fried section, that everything is fried. And what am I going to do? I cannot make her not want to eat that, but I can offer and bring things every year, and she likes them. She always has it. And it's not just her, it's also my son and our kids, and teaching them new ways, and they're going to be more open. And the people on, your generation, you're not trying to change the world, you're just trying to make some healthier choices. And if you are somebody that's trying to do that, by the way, here's some recipes. You know what I mean? I'm not saying everybody should eat healthy all the time and you should change your grandparents. You can't change your grandparents.
What made you decide to change for you? Like, what was that moment?
Well, it's always, my whole life, I'm always somebody who has to watch what I eat. I have to. If I could gain 2 pounds right now if I eat something. Like right now, by the time I leave Barnes & Nobles, I could be 2 pounds. If I drink too much of this water. No, but and it's a constant, sometimes I'm great, sometimes I'm not. But what I got tired of is every time I was like focused and I'm like, okay, I'm focused now. I'm in the gym 4 times a week. I'm eating healthy. Every time I got into I'm eating healthy, I was eating a plain piece of grilled something and a salad. I was eating, just bird food. And so what I was trying to find is something that when I am eating healthy and when I am in that zone, can I still eat healthy and still have these moments and then have other things that I could eat that make me feel good, that make me feel like stuff I grew up on. You know what I mean? So that's the thinking of it. It's not so much.
AngieMartinez.
Hello, how are you?
I'm Leon.
Hi, Leon. Where are you going?
I'm taking a walk.
Oh, okay. You don't want to join us for a little while?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, let's see.
Okay.
He was gonna come up on the stage.
Let's see, Leon.
It's been a long time, Angie.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Okay, good. We're just talking about healthy Latin eating. Are you into it? Good. All right. So yeah, you can't change the world, but like all of us, we're trying to make better choices, and now you have an option of eating Latin when you're eating healthy. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think the bottom line, the flavors are just so amazing, and one of the recipes are made with heart. So I think if you lead there, they're gonna just say that I believe that it's yummy,
Yeah.
and then it just happens to be healthy on top of that, right?
Right. Because people think healthy is compromising like the taste.
And it doesn't have to. And some of these recipes, honestly, some of them are not much different from what like your grandmother might be making. But what we did, see, the problem is not the grandmother. The problem is the generations under, where they stopped making the fresh vegetables and they started buying the canned sofrito, or they started buying the frozen. And granted, we all, we take shortcuts, and you lose some of the health benefits from that. So a lot of these recipes, honestly, are probably not that far. Well, some of them are not that far from what your grandparents even know. We may supplement brown rice for white rice or little things like that, but the seasoning and the flavors and the essence of it is really the same. So it's really not that much of a stretch. Hi.
Hi. I'd like to personally volunteer for tasting.
Oh, that's so nice of you. This is the guy right here.
You come to the restaurant.
Okay. And then I would like to know what you would recommend for like the quickest meals in the cookbook. It's like after coming home from work, at the end of the day, you don't have a lot of time because you
Yeah.
want to make some conversation.
Well, what do you think quick is?
Like under an hour.
Almost all the recipes are under an hour.
Yeah.
I think the longest is.
Who the hell has 2 hours to cook anything? Who has 2 hours
But like
to
all
make
the
anything?
salads are like.
Grandparents got 2 hours to cook everything.
Good
There's also
point.
chopping.
Yeah, I mean all the salads are super quick. They're just like intense in
Fish
flavor.
tacos.
Fish tacos.
Ew.
Stop that. 35 minutes. So, and by the way, less than that, maybe. That's including like chopping up of stuff.
The whole point of
All
the book
of the
was
salads.
to do it for that person that gets home and it's really not. It's time with the family. The family could be helping. It's not like really like this long cooking techniques and you're just like it's 10 o'clock at night and you put the kids to bed. It's meant to bring the family together and sit down at the table and have conversation.
Shrimp and papaya ceviche. 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Huh? A little ceviche at night. Come on with that little.
What's
Amazing
the
guacamoles.
What's the beach?
Shrimp.
It doesn't have to be shrimp. It could be.
Lemon,
You asking
onions.
what's ceviche?
Ceviche is typically raw fish that is, you add some sort of acid, lemon juice or lime juice, and essentially it cooks it through
You're
time.
gonna be okay.
Through marinating. You'll love
really
it.
good.
You'll love it.
Oh, there's the seafood.
Okay, you won't love it.
You are a pain in the neck. You're allergic to seafood. All right, well, we have plenty of non-seafood recipes in here.
There's an amazing recipe, the banana leaf wrapped fish. We take a piece of fish, whether that's mahi-mahi, whatever fish you fancy, just wrap it in banana leaf, steam it, and it's just a one-shot deal. So it's
Oh,
pretty
and the
delicious.
guacamoles are good, too.
Guacamoles are great.
Hi. Good.
I seen you in the book you got some recipes from your friends like Fat Joe and Asian and Bailon. Can you talk about that? Like,
Yeah, it was important for me to do that because I didn't want this book to be like, I really wanted to reflect like a culture, right? It's not just me that's trying to eat healthier and is Latin and still wants to eat this food. I noticed that all my friends are doing that. Like Fat Joe's a good friend of mine. His wife is like one of my best friends. So I'm literally at their house. I'm already starting to have this idea for the book. And Fat Joe lost like 80 pounds. We lost Big Pun. Fat Joe's lost a few friends. Not famous ones, just friends that he grew up with. Friends that we all know from obesity-related problems. So he's very sensitive to it. He lost 80 pounds. And so I'm at his house and I'm watching his wife make him grilled chicken, brown rice, beans. He's still eating Latin food. but she's changed some of the recipes. This was before I made the book. And I don't know, just those reinforcements. And Adrian is, Lower East Side, Puerto Rican. Her mother is Puerto Rican. They eat Latin food. But she's, in Hollywood doing a television show, and she needs to stay fit, and she's made different, changes in the way she eats. So I noticed that it's not just, a lot of Latin people who grow up on this food who are trying to be healthy, we're doing this also. So it was important for me to kind of include that. Robinson Cano, he's an athlete. He wants to eat healthy, but he's Dominican and must eat Dominican food. So that's why, and honestly, and Rosie Perez, everybody that I reached out to, I don't want to force anybody. I'm like, if you have it, cool. I'm very like, hey, and everybody was like, yes, I have this recipe. Yes, they were all into it. And so that's when I realized there's a place for a book like this in the world, And
it just makes it more cool when like some of your favorite celebrities and people that you really, like, are telling you, you know what, you can be healthy and you could also, enjoy the type of foods that you're used to, eating daily, but not, in the way that it's prepared where you actually change your life because, people, they think about going on a diet to lose weight and they really don't eat and they really are even in more danger of having health issues if they're not eating correctly anyways. So it's actually, I think it's amazing what you're doing because Latinos are very hard-headed. Like they just throw something on the fryer and eat it. And
that's how we should have started the book. Latinos are very hard-headed.
And when you start putting like Fat Joe and all these people who are doing it, they're like, wait a minute, maybe I should try that. And then I think, puts it in another light.
Well, that's what we hope. Yeah. So thank you for that. My guy has another question.
What's the healthiest recipe in this book?
That's a good question.
You're gonna grow up to be like the most famous news reporter in the whole world. These are amazing questions. Is she feeding you the questions or are these your questions?
No, these are his questions.
Okay. Healthiest?
Let's see.
That's hard to say. I mean, it depends because when you say healthy, you mean like low sodium, or healthy could be like, do you mean low calorie? It depends what you need.
I'd say the salad sections. Page 58, the watermelon salad.
You like watermelon? See, my guy.
How much total cholesterol is in
the whole book or in my body?
No. The book. Like, what's the total, like the most cholesterol?
I am not a mathematician. I do not know that answer, but we tried to be very conscious of that. Yeah. Because we would have to then sum up all the recipes.
The book would have been released next year, right?
Yeah, it would take us 4 years to get the cholesterol content of every recipe in the book. But, but we tried to be conscious of that. Anything else?
Got time for one more question, guys?
Uno más?
Good.
No? My guy? Okay. All right, one away.
So the book is a combination of, because we were actually browsing through it, and we didn't know you were here, which is really exciting.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
we
that's so nice.
about it, and we said, something Spanish, and I love cooking, and anyway, very good.
So you were looking at the book and didn't know we were here?
Yeah. We were
looking, and then they put on the speaker, and we were like, shit.
That's amazing. Oh, that makes me happy.
So I saw Dominican quipes, which is like, I'm crazy about it, and but I didn't have time to browse anymore. So I thought you meant Latin, and I said, it's Puerto Rican food, and I'd love to learn.
That's funny you
that,
say that.
But then it has much more.
Yeah, that was funny. That was important. Angela was really one of the when we first had our first conversations. Angela was like, "Well, it shouldn't just be like one." Well, he's Dominican anyway. He's not Puerto Rican. I'm Puerto Rican, but I grew up with the Cuban side of my family a lot, and I'm also part Dominican. So it was important for us to represent for us, and not just for us, but also I have an aunt who lives in Costa Rica. She sent us a recipe, salad recipe, and we have some Mexican dishes, and it was important for us to have a little bit of something for everybody because I really wanted to represent a full range of different backgrounds.
And these quipes we bake.
No.
Yeah, they're like banging. They're like flavors intense.
I'm so afraid of that recipe, and then when I saw it here, I was like, now I have to try it.
You should.
Yeah.
I hope you like
it.
it.
It's a process, right? It's like from one day to the next, I think. You have to put them in the refrigerator. That's the one that I looked up.
Because those are probably the fried ones. Those are probably like the old school. You don't even remember, do you? You gotta remember these. You gotta memorize them.
She's gonna ask this question. Quipes. 50 minutes total. Yeah, they're like gorgeous. They're crispy on the outside, moist on the inside, super flavorful. These we do with ground turkey.
Love them.
Yeah, ground turkey.
Try it.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's so nice. All right, so that's it? We have one more? Okay.
You had a very, in my opinion, you had a very prestigious career. You know, you were very well known like the hip hop and R&B world.
Really?
You've been on the radio for all these years. You was, you know, in that whole time when hip hop was, you know, like, would you ever write an autobiography?
That's a great idea too. You should expand
like
your
that?
book empire. Yeah.
Yes. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I've already, this past year of my life with all this change, you know, with changing the jobs and doing everything it's caused me to have like a lot of reflection, think about my career a lot. So I never really wanted to write that book until I felt like I had something to offer the world besides, this is what I did and how cool was this? I really wanted to give something more than that. And it's starting in my brain to come together. And so I've been just kind of like jotting notes of ideas. So I do think it's coming. I think maybe like, give me like a year. Maybe like a year. And then when it comes, you know, I've been on the radio for 20 years. If I'm going to write a book about it, it has to be good. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just throw something out. So, yeah, but it's a good idea, you. Will you buy it and will you show up to my book signing? Yeah, we'll come here. You have to bring come and bring a friend. Okay, it's a date. We'll have a date in like 2 years. All right, good.
Any more questions out there? All right.
One more, because I was going to write it down. And,
Look at, she's all prepared. She knows what's happening. This is
I
good.
thought about it. When they introduced you guys, they said you have a restaurant, and I didn't get the
Two
name.
of them, and it's so good.
I do that. That's my thing. I love to eat.
I'm going to tell you honestly, though. The truth is, sorry to jump in on your question, not everything at the restaurant is healthy. But it's up.
That's the point of going out and eating, right?
That's the point of, that's what you want to.
She's referring to the flan that she has several.
It's because when I go to his restaurant, I don't eat because he has this flan that is to die for, and the margaritas are also really good. Not included in the book. Margarita.
Yeah, we're right around the corner on Church and Walker.
It's a tequileria.
Yeah, it's called Añejo. It's a Mexican restaurant, and then we have one on 47th and 10th.
Yeah.
Same look.
So he has like the Mexican corn and like, come on, it's so good.
Oh, it's
Look, she's like, yes, she's hungry.
If we bring the book, do we get a discount?
Talk to my business partner. But you know what's amazing about not only this book, but at the restaurants, the term soul food has been coming up for me a lot, and that's not necessarily Southern cooking. Soul food is cooking with heart and passion, and that's what this book is about. It's the soul of, our grandmothers, my Tia Carmen, like, and what we impart, and that's what really the book is about: is heart and family and soul. So that's why I feel so passionate about it. And the recipes, the quipes, you're gonna die for.
I hope you love it, honey. I thank you for coming. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. I do so
One
much.
more
So
in
we
the
should
corner
take some
there.
pictures and hi, baby. You've been
I'm
so good, all quiet sitting there. I didn't think you were gonna talk.
I'm like amazed, like I'm dazed right now.
So sweet.
I love you. I'm from California, so I haven't been able to find good Mexican food since I left home. So is it like authentic, like, or is it? It's like because
You mean his restaurant?
Yes, I've had a lot of like fufu Mexican food, and I want like beans and rice and like.
We do have beans and rice. So it's my interpretation of Mexican food.
Okay.
If you're to close your eyes, it's as if you're eating in Oaxaca, Guadalajara, Veracruz, but when you open it, the presentation might be a little bit more modern.
Okay.
So there are takes of my interpretations of, but the flavors are super intense, and it's like, getting in a boxing ring with Holyfield or Mayweather.
Yeah, really good.
I haven't been able to find any like good, so I'll try.
You should try it. Yeah. That's it.
All
We're
right,
good.
thank you, Angie and
Thank you
Angelo,
so
for
much,
coming out to
guys. I
Barnes and Noble.
appreciate
One round of applause, guys, for Angie and Angelo. If you'd like to get your book signed, please line up on this side of the event space, and we'll bring you up one by one.
Hey, how you doing, sir?